Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
This is Durry with Coyote Kid, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I bring you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have Durry. He is from the band Coyote Kid. Minnesota-based band Coyote Kid will release their brand new full-length story album, in October, called The Skeleton Man. Coyote Kid has released a new music video for their song Femme Fatale that was shot entirely on 16mm film, which is pretty damn cool if you ask me, because I got to watch this video. It's pretty cool, and I like seeing stuff done on old school stuff like that. They also have a Kickstarter as well for the new album. We're going to be talking to Durry about all this stuff and Coyote Kid and Not Karate Kid and all that stuff. But how's it going, man?
Going all right myself.
Doing awesome. Glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So I saw this and I thought this was pretty interesting. So you started the band with Wilder in 2010, but you really didn't take it seriously until about 2015 when you guys got signed. I mean,
correct.
Was it just like a hobby type deal, and then shit got real?
You know, kind of. And in the beginning, it was like, we were in high school, just kind of digging around, seeing what we could make, and we didn't really see much of like a future, and it was just kind of for fun. And then it got picked up by a record label, and we were kind of like, okay, let's give this a real try and see what happens. And the rest just kind of flew on from that.
Shit gets real when you get signed to a record
true.
label, and it's like, oh God, now I really have to come up with stuff.
Exactly. And then you gotta be professional and everything.
How's it been working with Tag Publicity so far for you guys?
They've been great. Yeah, we our booking agency hooked us up with them, and they have been an absolute treat to work with for sure. Yeah, they've been pushing us all over the world, all new markets and everything. It's been awesome.
What's impressed or excited you the most, Durry, about making this new album, The Skeleton Man, if anything? Is there anything that sticks out about it for you, possibly?
Yeah, so this album, we've always kind of wanted to do these, story albums where each song is like a chapter of a story, and then the whole thing makes this overarching like plot. And we've kind of developed that into this like kind of like a little universe we've made, kind of like a comic book or like a graphic novel or something like that, that spans across all of our different albums. And with this one, we're kind of taking it to the next level. We're our Kickstarter, actually, we made our goal, and then we actually made all of our stretch goals on our Kickstarter. And one of the stretch goals was we're going to make a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that's based on the story of the album. And so we're actually going to have this game that fans can play where they get to kind of go into the world of the album and all the characters and all the story and everything, and kind of make this bigger picture with all of it and be more immersed in the whole thing. So with this album, with all that in mind, we've tried to include a lot of thematic elements, a lot of like different characters have different motifs that are kind of the cues for the different characters that you can pick up throughout the album, and there's all kinds of different atmospheric things that we put in for, like, if it's like an action scene or if it's like a more of a chill scene. There's different elements in there that kind of imply that through the music, and yeah, it's been a really big project all around. We've just been kind of trying to make this thing that's bigger than just an album, and kind of like a whole experience.
Is this going to be Coyote Kid from here on out? Are you guys going to be doing theatrical albums, concept albums, stuff like that? Or could we basically see just a regular music album instead of concept albums from you guys?
I don't know. I don't want to rule anything out, because we don't know what the future is, but this is definitely, it's kind of always how we've written music, I guess. Like personally, as a songwriter, it's always been, I always felt like, kind of the standard run of the mill, like ideas and content of songs always just kind of felt like boring to me. And I wanted to have songs that had stories with like higher stakes. You know what I mean? It's not a breakup song, or it's not a love song. It's like like a fight scene song, or, it's like a, life and death, like dramatic big thing. And that's kind of what the lyrical content that we want to have. And that just lends itself well to kind of making these story albums and kind of making more, mythical, like comic book style writing in the music. So I don't know. For now, we're sticking with it. I don't know. I don't know what the next album will be, but we'll find out.
How long did it take to write and complete this new album for you guys?
We've been working on this one for about 2 years. So we pretty much started right off the back of our last story album, which came out in 2017. And, it's been about 2 years of development and developing the story and the characters and the songs, and to kind of tell the story we want to tell, but also make sure like they're actually good songs too. It's all kind of this back and forth game of writing the music and then writing the lyrics and then writing the story and then kind of massaging them all together to kind of make one coherent, body of work.
Was it hard to choose between the current set of songs? Which one would be the first single or video you wanted to release or push first? Or was it hands down Femme Fatale for you guys?
Femme Fatale was actually the first song that we for the new album. And so it was always kind of like it was always the flagship song of kind of the new Coyote Kid and of the whole album and the whole kind of new wave of music that we're making. And it was kind of always meant to be the flagship single. We wanted something that kind of showed both of our singers and showed kind of the storytelling elements and the lyrics, and was fun and had a good chorus to it, but also kind of showed some of the darkness and some of the heavier thematic elements in there too. We kind of wanted the song to just be like the package deal of like what the band has to offer, kind of all in 3 minutes 30 seconds. That's what it is, So
now this music video, Femme Fatale, I call it Femme Fatale, but you guys call it Femme Fatale.
I don't really know how to say it. No one really knows, but Femme Fatale, whatever.
Yeah, we got it right, folks. You don't. Okay.
Okay.
It was shot entirely on 16mm film by Christopher Benin and Dina Winter, telling the story of a woman bound to serve her vampiric car. Let's talk about this a little bit, man. How was working with these folks and doing it on a 16mm film, and plus doing a twist with a vampiric car? I thought this was pretty cool when I was watching this video.
Yeah. We found these directors. We really liked some of their like short film style, very cinematic style of work that they had in the past, and we were actually one of their first like music video projects, and we liked that because we wanted it to not feel so much like just like another music video. We wanted it to feel like a story and like a little mini movie we get to watch, and they actually came up with the whole idea of the vampiric car and of the kind of murderous woman like feeding people to this car, and that was all their story and everything, and we were thrilled with the whole idea and how it kind of plays to the lyrics of the song, but like takes in a different direction too, and yeah, they made the choice to shoot on 16mm film, which we thought was really cool. A lot of the great directors of our time, they all kind of pay tribute to the old way of doing film. We thought that was really cool, and we kind of shared that sentiment with pressing all of our albums to vinyl, and we like to kind of do things the old school way for the most part. And they found a great cast, and they put together the storyboard, the whole thing, and made this cool little we kind of called it like an ode to Quentin Tarantino. Was the idea behind it, because we really love his movies, and we've been told lots of times that we sound like we would be in one of his movies. So we kind of wanted to pay tribute to them in that way with a whole music video and the whole story and everything.
Kind of put me in mind of Christine as well, if you think about it, because you're pretty much living your life for your car.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
It's like you're married
to exactly.
it.
Oh yeah.
Any songs standing out more to you than any right now on the album? I know it must change every time you listen to it or you guys start to work on it, but are there any that stand out for you personally?
Yeah. So for this new album, we tried to go very we wanted to have a really wide view of what our genre is. We tried to have lots of different songs and lots of different genres, that all kind of still feel coherent, but each one is like pretty vastly different sounding from each other. But yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite, I guess. My favorite, I think, of the new album is a song called Prowler. We'll be releasing that, with the full album, but it's a very it's a very mean kind of like monster song, basically, and has a lot of cool story elements in it, and a really cool like main hook that actually becomes one of the characters in the story. It becomes his character motif throughout the whole story. So you'll hear that same hook in a couple different songs whenever that character is present in the story. And it's just a big beefy rock and roll song, but with lots of very theatrical elements too. That's cool. I'm excited for everyone to hear that one.
Did you guys self-produce this album or no?
Oh yeah, we wrote and produced and recorded and did everything. We do everything ourselves with such a story focused method. It's like really hard to bring any kind of outside influence to it, really. So it's all us making this thing. So yeah.
Do you guys like having that control of DIY, do it yourself? Do you like having that time to say, well, we can do this tomorrow or whatever? I mean, you have that freedom to just take your time and make these albums.
Yeah, definitely. We're in a really unique position where we have fans that are just like crazy passionate about what we do, and so we can actually we've crowdfunded all 4 of our albums. So we do Kickstarter, and people pre-order, and they'll give us everything we need to just make this album for them. And so it's like we get to kind of skip the whole record label thing. We don't have or need a manager or anyone to kind of tell us how to do it. We just get to make it how we want for the fans, exactly how they want it, and it's a really cool like direct band to fan interaction, which I think is really great. It's exactly what we want to be and how we want to do things. So
I like seeing bands do this because I've said this a million times for the ones who do the Kickstarter stuff. I like collecting memorabilia, and it's a trade-off, man. You help your bands that you like, and you can buy a signed CD, a signed drum head, a signed guitar, whatever. You could buy signed lyrics from you guys or any bands out there. I mean, you're helping that band. You're contributing to them to fund that album. So to me, it's a win-win situation for all you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we take our rewards for these very seriously. For this last one, we actually had some metal figurines made of the characters from the story that Kickstarters were able to get with their reward. So you get the vinyl, you get the CD, you get the poster, you get the shirt, and then you also get these little metal figurines that are like totally unique, and there's only I think there's only 20 in existence, and so all the Kickstarters that donate at that tier or whatever, they all get these really unique little trinkets. I just think that's like the coolest thing. I was really happy about that.
Yeah, they're real tiny, and I don't mean to say this or make fun because I'm not, but this is what it reminds me of to give you an example. Kind of puts me on like the little Monopoly.
Yeah.
Those little tiny figurines that you get to move and stuff. They remind me of that, and I think that's real cool. Anything that you can do to up your game to say, hey, there's only like 20 or 40 of existence, get that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Monopoly pieces is a good descriptor. They're actually made for D&D, Dungeons and Dragons,
nice.
Little figures. So we thought that was perfectly fitting with our whole story thing and all that stuff. So
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Or you can play Monopoly with it too. That's
fine. Who did the artwork for the album?
All of our artwork is done by my tattoo artist, actually. Her name is Lana Bosak, and yeah, she's great. She works really hard with us and always comes up with these really cool illustrations for us. And that artwork, though, in particular, was the like album cover artwork is unique in that when there's like a red layer and a blue layer, and the blue layer is like a skeleton cowboy, and the red layer is just a regular cowboy. And when you buy the album, you'll get a red and a blue lens that you can actually look through each one, and it'll separate the two layers when you look at it. So you'll actually see two separate images. You'll see different details and different things through either lens when you look at the album cover. And so we wanted to kind of have this extra little Easter egg thing in the artwork and in the album. And yeah, Landon did a great job bringing that to life and making it cool and making it work. And yeah, it was really cool.
And it's simple. It's just a simple drawing. It's nothing so critiquous or anything like that. I mean, it's just a simple drawing of a cowboy on a horse.
Yep, that's it.
Sometimes, folks, simple is better. That's it, plain and simple.
Hey, exactly right. Yep.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this new single, or message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just any of Coyote Kid's music in general? What do you hope they get from it, Durry?
You know, we're trying to make something that people can kind of escape into, and we're trying to make a story that you can really dive into, and then once you're finished the story and you finish the album, you can always go back and listen to songs by themselves and kind of retreat back into those stories with those characters, and you know, we want to just make a space that people can, you know, be entertained and have music that they like and have characters hopefully that they like too, and yeah, we just wanted to kind of make an escape for people. That's really all there is to it. And the characters all have their own arcs and their own changes in personality throughout the story, and we'll hope that people identify with those too, and then kind of attribute those emotional beats and character beats with different songs, and we'll kind of find a deeper meaning and a deeper connection with those songs as they learn about the characters involved in the songs. So, yeah.
What has changing the name of the band after 9 years from Myra in the Main Cell to Coyote Kid done for the band, if anything? Well, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so, you know, we, like I said before, we started the band when we were in high school and picked a name that we thought was really cool, and we used to be very, like, nautical themed and all that kind of thing. And it was really, we felt like, we just felt disconnected from the name Myra in the Main Cell after a while. And we felt like it didn't represent the music we were making or the stories we were telling anymore. And we wanted to just kind of, it was a really hard choice to make, to make the change and kind of rip off the Band-Aid of that old name. But since we've changed it, we've seen a really huge uptick in all of our traffic and everyone that's interested in it. And, you know, we were kind of worried about losing fans, and we thought people might be like, not understand or be upset about it or whatever. But all of our fans have been super supportive and really understanding about the whole thing. And then also on the flip side, new people coming in, you know, it's a much easier name to say and to remember, and it's much more catchy and more, you know, on brand with what we are now. So for new fans coming in, it's been really helpful for just making there's no boundary to come in. You don't have to memorize this complicated name or you know, get a CD or whatever. It's just, you can just remember it right off the bat. So that's been really good for us, and just widening our audience and bringing in as many new people as we can.
Do you see this band still musically growing from where it started, or has it just been more of a personal growth for each of you involved in Coyote Kid right now?
Yeah, you know, we the sound has definitely evolved a lot. And I think we've grown a lot as writers and as performers and everything. You know, we kind of learn more with each album we put out. We learn more about how to make music and how to write songs and how to make, you know, this whole story music thing happen. And yeah, I feel like we've grown a lot as musicians and as writers and as people. Yeah, I think it's been a pretty drastic change, actually, over the years. The last time we put out, we felt like was kind of the first time that we were like fully, prepared and kind of knew what we were doing for the last album, and we put it out, and then we learned so much, and we learned we kind of didn't really know what we were doing, and now this time we're trying to do it right, trying to do it, make the best album we possibly can, and I'm sure we'll learn a ton more through the process, and make the next album, even better, hopefully.
What does Coyote Kid bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, if anything? I know no one's reinventing the wheel, but what are you guys bringing to the table for music that isn't out there?
I honestly don't know of another band that's really doing like a story album concept thing. I mean, there's concept albums out there, but we kind of take it to the next level with actually writing the story and having the characters and illustrations and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest thing we're bringing to the table. But then also, we have a big emphasis on brass, but we're still like a rock and roll band. And so I think that's also kind of another angle that not a lot of other acts really capitalize on. Horns are a really versatile instrument, and they can make really beefy lows and really soaring highs, and they can add a lot of texture to songs that would otherwise be just, a pretty standard rock tune. And so I think we kind of bring that into. And then other than that, we have 2 lead singers, which is kind of unique as well. And I think we just kind of have a very theatrical approach to things that not a lot of other current musicians really have. At least we hope. That's what we're doing. I don't know. We're trying our best.
When you talk about horns, I think about ska, the old ska days. I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have one song on the new album that's a little more punk than the other ones, and we always joke about how it's like it's a little bit of getting into ska territory, but I wouldn't call it that, but it's on the border, I'd say.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all,
yeah,
good sir. When you're coming into the recording studio, do you like to do anything during the writing and recording process? I know that's 2 different concepts, but maybe to help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get bored or get stale with it. Do you do anything differently, possibly?
Honestly, when we go into the studio, it's just like laser focused, like marathon. We're pretty much on it nonstop, and until we go home and go to sleep. But which I try to go in with a plan, kind of just know what we're going to do that day, and then check it off the list, and then go home and do it again the next day. But yeah, there's no secret sauce to that. I think it's just about preparation and I guess just going in with a plan.
What can fans expect at a show from Coyote Kid who have not got to see you guys live as of yet? Are they going to get like a theatrical show, or what's going on with it?
Yeah, so our live show is we try really hard to just make the live show like as much of an experience and a memory that as we can, and so we've added these extra little elements where there's these kind of big crescendos in the music where we'll pull out our basses. We'll give the bass to our keys player, and he'll go backstage and he'll come out with these like big rusty chains, and he'll like be playing these chains like on the stage, lifting them up and slamming them down, and making crazy faces at people. And we run out into the audience, and we'll pull out like a big upright bass drum, and he'll like run out into the audience with this big bass drum. And we try to be very interactive with the fans, and have all these parts that they can kind of know what to do and how to react with us, so they can kind of be a part of the show too. And it's very big, it's very loud and dynamic, and we're just kind of trying to put on the best show we possibly can. That's what it's all about.
So we're living in a digital era now, Durry, of getting albums out quicker, plus now we got social media to reach out to more people. Are you guys liking this that we're in right now, to reach out to more folks and to get albums out quicker?
Man, I don't know. I haven't quite figured out this whole digital age thing yet, but it's definitely good for smaller bands. I think it's good for new bands getting off the ground, where before it was really if a label didn't give you the go ahead, you couldn't do it. And now it's more like, you can record stuff on your own, and it sounds pretty good, and you can put it out there, and the people decide, whether or not it's going to fly or not. And so I think it's been really good for us, kind of being on the outskirts of the traditional genres that exist. It's been really good for us to be able to find our fans and have people be able to kind of dive into this whole thing we're doing. And like we still like the old way of things. We love vinyl and we love CDs and we love physical products that you can see and touch and open and all that kind of stuff. But as far as actually reaching new people, the digital age has definitely been a mixed blessing, I'd say. But it's been good for us.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, "Yeah, that's what I want to do"?
Oh well, growing up, I actually wanted to be a comic book writer. I was really into drawing and really into stories and characters and stuff like that. And but I kind of figured out that I was better at music than I was at the rest of that stuff. And so this whole story music thing was very natural right off the bat. It was just kind of like combining those two passions into one, and then being able to kind of step on stage and kind of embody the characters in the music and kind of make this theatrical show that people can experience. It was really like performing, like getting on stage is what made me like want to keep getting on stage. That's kind of how it was. Whereas in the beginning, it was really just like it just kind of happened. It wasn't like some big crazy dream that we like longed to someday like get on stage. Just kind of got on stage once. It was like, oh, that was fun. Let's do it again. And then like a couple of years later, hey, now we love it. Now it's like how we trying to make a living and trying to do this thing all the time. So yeah, life is crazy. I don't know.
Is there a country that stands out or shocks you that Coyote Kid gets support from, or your music even gets played in that area? Have you seen anything so far that kind of shocks you?
Yeah, I am constantly amazed. Looking at on Spotify, you can see like what cities listening the most and what countries listening the most. And just in the last like month, all of a sudden Germany popped up. We have like hundreds of people listening to us in Germany. I have no idea how they heard us. I have no idea how it got around. And just like, bam, one day Germany likes us. We're like, never been there, no idea. But like same thing with like on the West Coast now. We have a bunch of listeners in like LA, and like we've never played in LA. We've never like done any promo over there at all. But they picked it up, and now they're one of our top cities, like just out of nowhere. I have no idea how the machine works. We're just we put it out there, and we're just constantly shocked and amazed at the people we've never met, people we've never had any connection with at all, are giving us their ears and giving us a chance. It's really cool.
There's so many bands that's been on this show here recently that said, yeah, Germany. I'm like going, what's up with Germany? They got some good ears over there.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess Germany just knows who to listen to. I don't know.
Is there a band on the bucket list for you that you would like to work tour with, or maybe do an old school album split with, possibly?
Oh man, so one of the biggest influences on my music and the writing and everything is a band called Murder by Death, and I've been a fan of them for years, and just actually a couple months ago, we were given this crazy opportunity to actually open for them. And so I crossed off my bucket list. I'm good now. But, yeah, to be able to tour with them would be amazing, or in any other capacity. But I'm already like,
he's done.
I've lived my dream. I'm good.
Durry's done. It's over. He can go home now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up their brand new full-length story album called The Skeleton Man, which is going to be released in October. You definitely get out and pick that up. Plus, pick up their old stuff as well. Durry, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, tour dates, things like that when all this goes down and this new album? How can he do that?
Yeah, so you can just follow us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, or we also started a Patreon recently, which is we're putting up a bunch of exclusive content there. And we'll be announcing everything on all those platforms all the time. And yeah, that's really the best way to do it. Just through social media, or you can find out stuff through our website, which is just coyotekidmusic.com. And yeah, You know, we love to meet new people and connect with new people and all that kind of stuff. We also have a new single coming out actually in September 14th. We're putting out a new music video and a new single. It's called Strange Days, and it's actually a continuation of the story of the video of Femme Fatale. So it's actually the same characters in a new story. So that's going to be really cool. We're looking forward to that. And, keep your eyes peeled for that coming out September 14th.
Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Yeah, sure. All right. This is Durry with Coyote Kid, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link, YouTube link, and hopefully soon our Twitch link. And it's very, very, very important that you go out and subscribe and like our YouTube page, because everything and anything BODS Mayhem Hour is going up on that, and plus our podcast link. So check that out, and get out and check out Coyote Kid. Pick up their new album, Skeleton Man, when it comes out. You will not be disappointed. Plus grab their old stuff as well. Durry, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for talking.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.